Hello and thank you for being with us. On the road to Beijing, our special report show taking you up to the start of the Olympic Games on August 8th. The torch relay continues its route through China, with the flame carried aloft through Anhui province, one of the poorer and more rural provinces in the country. Even here, it was an impressive and enthusiastic turnout as the torch made its way through. A sign, it seems, that the recent tragic earthquake has only served to reinforce national pride.
The town of Jixi hasn't seen this big a party in a long time. They've poured into the streets to cheer on the Games. At just 30,000 citizens, it's the smallest town in China to have welcomed the Olympic torch. As usual, the coordination of the relay is planned in minute detail. The flame is protected by policemen dressed in sports gear, and there's not much risk of disruption in any case. The crowds are enthusiastic. Students line the relay route, all ages and from all schools. The whole town is out in force to savour this moment, which has more to do with national pride than sport.
This flame symbolizes the pride we have in China. I'm so moved. I don't know what to say. It's our national glory. It only happens once a century.
I wanted to see the torch with my own eyes, and I think it's great. We're very happy to be here.
We're 1,200 kilometres from Beijing and the ongoing construction ahead of the Games. Anhui province is poorer than the national average. This farmer and his family do not have time to go and see the Olympic flame. It's monsoon season. But they support the Olympic Games. It's good for China, they say.
You know, before we Chinese were considered the pariah of Asia. Now we have the necessary means. We succeeded in getting the Games. So yes, we're happy.
Nobody is prepared to make any criticisms on front of the camera. It's a sensitive issue. Some are even hoping that their lot will be improved thanks to the Olympic Games.
Lots of foreigners are coming to China this summer. Maybe some will come here and spend money. That would develop the region.
The flame has now finished its tour of Anhui province and it continues on its journey, sure of a warm welcome.
Tennis is among the many sports on the Olympic program, and during these past 2 weeks, players have been put through their paces here in Paris on the courts of Roland Garros, site of the French Open tennis tournament. Some of the world's best athletes are in the French capital in a bid to lift the trophy as well as secure a place on their country's Olympic team. This year's French Open saw many Chinese players make the trip, testimony to how this traditional sport is still very à la mode in a country like China. This report by Xavier Chemisser and Pierre Gabas.
China has yet to produce a major tennis champion, with no player having cracked the top 10. But its players are improving and they're more and more visible. 5 Chinese women are now ranked in the top 100. But only 4 will have the right to take part in the Olympics. Peng Shuai will certainly be one of them. In the last 2 years, she's won against stars such as Hingis, Dementieva and Mauresmo.
Now the tennis in China is getting more popular, and every people with like tennis start playing, and then so the China I think have like more players play them more in WTA tournament and make the rankings going up.
Chinese media like to highlight the great performances of Peng Shuai and her compatriots. CCTV, the national television network, has even started to broadcast some of their games live.
Before, definitely there was not, many players who were playing, tennis. But I think that since the Olympics come up, it was a motivation. The federation, put a lot of money, with all the, athletes in her country. And now, especially on the women's tour, there are many, Chinese who are playing well. And for the game, it's perfect that there are more Chinese women on the women's circuit. And, it makes more competition, for the tour.
Chinese women have yet to prove their skills in singles. Until now, they've always done better in doubles, with Ji Zheng and Yi Zhong leading the way. The two are China's best chances of medals.
My partner, we practiced together almost 18 years ago together. So it's a best friend also. You know, we win 2006, the Australia Open and the Wimbledon. So we hope we're looking for the 2008 Olympic.
The pressure is on with China's desire for Olympic medals stronger than ever. Playing at home can be tricky, but for these two players, this is the opportunity of a lifetime.
Here, I cannot get in.
While the Chinese were in France, the French were in China. The tricolor kayaking team made the trip to familiarize themselves with the course, a very special reconnaissance mission. Our correspondent Sébastien Le Belzic sends us this report from the Olympic Park, 50 kilometers outside Beijing.
The Shuanyi Water Park in the suburbs of Beijing, the venue for the 2008 Olympic canoeing and kayaking events, world-class facilities which the French national squad have taken to like ducks to water. 5 athletes from France have qualified for these disciplines, the most experienced, Tony Estanguet, who is going for a 3rd Olympic title and who will lead the French team out for the opening ceremony.
Carrying the flag for the French team is the highlight of my career. It's a moment of pride for a sport that has consistently produced medal winners over the last 28 years. So it's not only because of Estanguet that a canoeist or a kayaker is carrying the flag, it's because of all the medal winners in the last 28 years.
Topping their 2 golds and 1 bronze from Athens will be a serious challenge for the French team, all the more so with the tricky course being used for the Beijing Games.
It is a very difficult course with a lot of white water and many chutes. We still have a lot of work to do and not much time left. But we still have 1 more training session here before the Olympics, and I think it will be enough.
Another challenge facing the French will be the Chinese team. Living nearby, they have the advantage of practicing on the course all the time.
The Chinese are competing on home soil. They'll be very dangerous. They'll be particularly strong in the women's kayak and tandem canoe events. They'll also have home court advantage. I think that will be good for them.
All of the Olympic kayak and canoeing events will take place within the 600,000 square metres of the Shuanyi Water Park. But these athletes know it's how they fare on just 500 of those metres that will determine if they walk away with a medal or not.
Now a quick look at the torch route in the days to come. Continuing its trek around the country, the flame is now coming into the last 2 months of its marathon, parading through enthusiastic crowds in all 22 Chinese provinces, next week onto Yunnan and Guizhou. And where will the flame blaze in 2016? This is a question currently under deliberation by the International Olympic Committee. The choice has now narrowed to 4 candidate cities: Tokyo, Japan, Madrid, Spain, Chicago in the United States, and Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Incidentally, South America has never played host to an Olympic Games. The winning city to host the 2016 Games will be announced next year. And that's the end of our show. Thank you for staying with us. We'll be back next week for the next leg of On the Road to Beijing on France 24.